And one thing that I also know you do right now, you have a person that you outsource this aspect of your business. Do you have somebody handling the social media for you?
Well, let's talk about social media. Actually, social media for us serves two purposes. It's firstly an opportunity to propagate our content and amplify our content. And secondly, to have conversations with people that hang out on these social media sites. So we put a piece of content out on Twitter, which is just really, amplification of what we've already developed. And then somebody wants to have a conversation with us on Twitter, we'll have that conversation on Twitter. Similarly, Facebook, similarly, LinkedIn. But the whole idea of sort of a social media strategy expands no more than just that, really. And when we talk about outsourcing it, the technical aspects of propagating it, amplifying it, has been outsourced. Yes, certainly I've got somebody that's responsible for doing that, because I'm not going to be sitting around manipulating Hootsuite and sending our content out into the social media sphere. Somebody else does that, but that's just a pair of relatively cheap, cost-effective hands assisting in the content amplification process. The conversations that happen at social media are all with me because I'm the subject matter expert.
Okay, so essentially you create the content yourself, but you have somebody that helps you with amplifying and distributing on social media. And earlier you said that there are two websites that you use on a regular basis for outsourcing small projects like this that are called Fiverr and Upwork. Can you tell us a little bit more about how it all works and how people can actually make use of it?
Yeah, so Upwork, which used to be called Elance, is a place where you can source essentially freelancers of every hue and colour that will give you an opportunity to address any kind of assistance you need in the development of your intelligent content marketing strategy, however it unfolds and manifests itself. So you can go there and you can buy in the expertise, and it's cost effective, and the majority of workers there are looking for opportunities to build long-term relationships. From that you can ultimately learn who's going to be the right kind of ongoing service provider for you, because you've got a meeting of the minds and they're doing what they're doing for you, what you want them to do, and they're doing it properly, and they're delivering at all times, and you can rely on them, and the value that they're capable of adding is being added. So Upwork gives you an opportunity to sort of, in a sense, suck and see, if you will, find out, what people are out there and which of those people over time you want to trust. Chirag, our video production guy in India, is a result of that. I have a relationship with Chirag now going on 6 years, I think it is. Started out just through an Upwork trial of what it was all about, and we built on from that. And then Fiverr.com is a website that plays a similar role to Upwork, where the expectation is that you're going to be able to sample the work of freelancers who can add value to your strategy. And because there's such a wide array of novel and interesting things that are available there, you can introduce remarkableness into your proposition too, by adopting some of those and seeing how they can fit. And you pay $5 to start for that first piece of work. And in fact, they're called gigs, right? And so you can buy a gig for $5, they'll deliver it, and then you'll see what it's all about, and you think, well, that's interesting, perhaps we can develop a stream of these. So you may end up doing 20 or 30 little pieces of content development around the particular sort of skill set that these guys have got, which gives you something novel and interesting. And it's cheap, it's only $5 a pop. But as you sample what those guys have got to offer, you can create relationships with them, and you can see what their wider skill set is, and away you go. So another example of that is I found our ventriloquist, a puppeteer, through Fiverr. His name's Daniel, and he produced our puppet character Hadley. Hadley is available on Hong Kong Giza blog. And then when we did our European passport thing, we had a brother who had a suntan from Hadley called Howie, and Howie was Hadley's surfer dude brother who'd participated in the Golden Residence Permit en route to becoming a Portuguese citizen. And so we developed 30 videos of Howie against typical Portuguese scenes, and he was explaining about what it was like to live in Portugal. And so we were able to refer Howie back to Hadley and sort of make those cross connections. So we built a story around these puppets, which in turn were just, one of them was answering immigration problems, and the other was really educating people as to what it was like to live in Portugal. $5 each for, you know, each of those videos, Howie and Hadley. So there's an example of how we created what was a $5 relationship into what turned out to be, you know, a pretty, you know, profound part of an overall content strategy for two particular businesses that were in. One, European Passport, was shut down now because we didn't do the thinking properly. But Hadley on the immigration side, which of course has now become folklore and part of our immigration content and will be there forever because the answers that Hadley gives are evergreen anyway. So from the websites Fiverr and Upwork, you can clearly discern that, you know, from a content strategy, an intelligent content marketing development initiative perspective, if you will, you're not an island of one. You can reach out into these and other websites, in fact, and find other people who can help you. And it doesn't have to be expensive. And from there, you can then inculcate the relationships that you need, that you can found your ongoing content strategy around. And that's exactly what we did. And that's what you have to do if you don't have any resources and you haven't got any real meaningful capital to, you know, put into a kind of a sophisticated, so to speak, solution from the get-go. Start easy, work with these freelancers, suck it and see for a while, and then when you find people who can help you and you have a meeting of the minds, you grow together. So Daniel has grown with us and Chirag has completely grown with us too.